The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
Kyle, I'm allergic to a couple things, but I'm not allergic to anything as much as the Canucks are allergic to shooting the puck. Come on, get it on net, win the game. What are you doing?
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, welcome to the postcast here on Locked On Canucks. My name is Trevor Beggs, co-host of Locked On Canucks, also a Canucks writer currently with Daily Hive Vancouver. And as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Kyle Bowen, in another predictable showing from the Vancouver Canucks. This one a little more depressing than the return from the Four Nations, but they dropped by a similar margin, a 2-1 loss to the Utah Hockey Club. They failed to hit the empty net and give the Canucks a very similar feeling, loss to the one they had the night before. But Kyle, at least when the Canucks played the Vegas Golden Knights, you saw the push, you saw the fire, you saw the high floor of this team, you saw people fighting to stay in the game, and you didn't quite see that same fight tonight from the Vancouver Canucks. And man, oh man, are the Canucks truly the ninth best team in the West? And I know they're still ahead of Utah for now, but Utah is right on their heels, and arguably, Kyle, they might be a better team right now.
Damn. First off, sorry, no microphone again for the second straight day. Not at the proper setup, at the proper studio. Or maybe I sold my microphone to get my girlfriend whatever she wanted on Valentine's Day last week. It is what it is, right? The choice is hers, as they say, right? Happy wife, happy life, Trevor. You taught me that. Where am I going with this? Utah better than the Canucks? They were tonight. They were like 3 times the team. And Trevor, can you just do most of the talking today, A, and B, just do a little standings report for me? Because I don't want to look at the Sharks-Flames matchup that's happening right now or might be over. I'm a little sad that not only did we lose today, but we got our asses kicked. Okay, if it's not for Shilovs, it's 5-1.
Yeah, Archer Shilovs might have been the Canucks MVP of the game. In fact, I would say he was the Canucks MVP of the game. And if you're grasping at straws for moral victories here, Archer Shilovs played a hell of a game for the Canucks, made a couple of remarkable saves. The only 2 goals I got past him were tip-ins. So it's, you can't fault Archer Shilovs for anything that transpired tonight. But yeah, Kyle, in terms of the standings, the Calgary Flames, they do pick up a victory here over San Jose. So they are 1 point behind the Vancouver Canucks with a game in hand. The Utah Hockey Club, they're still 4 points behind the Vancouver Canucks, and the Canucks have a game in hand on them. But Kyle, the 3 teams fighting right now, the Utah Hockey Club to me seem like maybe the most likely team to make the playoffs. I mean, look, the Canucks are missing Quinn Hughes right now, and of course that is more than an X factor. Quinn Hughes has been one of the best players in the NHL this season, so missing him is no joke. It's no joke, okay? Yeah, that's like me trying to go after, being 6-7 deep. And anyways, I won't get into that too much. But again, no Quinn Hughes to the Vancouver Canucks. And again, you had an effort tonight where they barely get the puck on net. And Kyle, I mean, last night we were kind of giving Rick Tocchet his flowers, saying, look what he's done with this team based on roster quality. You don't have a lot of top forwards for this team going. Obviously Elias Pettersson struggles. We've talked about that immensely. But Brock Boeser, who's supposed to be another offensive driver on this team, he's not going either, and he hasn't looked great in his first 2 games back after the Four Nations break. So this Canucks team right now, I mean, look at the Utah Hockey Club and their offensive firepower. I mean, would you say that Cooley, Keller, and Dylan Guenther are all better players than any offensive player the Canucks has right now? I would say so. And they got a goalie in Karel Vejmelka as well. They got a good defense. I mean, right now, even with Quinn Hughes back, I'm starting to wonder if the Canucks are actually a hockey club than the Utah Hockey Club.
That's one of the darkest things you ever said, man. And I know you've been preaching that over the last couple of weeks. Well, not preaching it, but you've been saying that. And I'm like, why are you so scared of Utah? Now I get it, man. They got players who have confidence, okay, when they have the puck, or they're having fun. Whereas the Vancouver Canucks have one player like that, okay? Philip Hedl. And you know who's the next guy who wants to make plays? It's probably Connor Garland, but it's also probably Kiefer Sherwood. And then it's it. When it comes to, creating space, skating, playing with swagger, having some balls. And yeah, because this team lacks so much offense, I think they've scored the least amount of goals since January 1st in the league. This is why we've been saying, right? Quinn Hughes is the Hart Trophy winner if this team makes the playoffs. And when Quinn Hughes gets back into the lineup, he's good for a goal and a half a game, in my opinion. Like, that's how on fire he is. Like, I'm not saying he's going to score those goals. I'm just saying he's going to be a part of the action on 1.5 goals per game. Okay, for real. Feels like that. That is so desperately needed for a team that, again, lacks so much offense. And, it's the Pettersson and Brock Boeser thing, okay? I was going to say it's the Pettersson thing, but I'm going to throw Brock Boeser in the mix too. Just not good enough. And there's no way he's going to be a rental for your Vancouver Canucks, Like, that theory out there, it's not going to happen. If he's playing like this, they're shipping his ass out of here ASAP.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's starting to lean that way, right? And there are teams that are going to pay for Brock Boeser. It doesn't really matter that he's struggling right now. He's still a good hockey player. He's 28 years old. He's been on pace for 30 goals throughout his NHL career. Someone will pay to get Brock Boeser. And that, coupled with the way management talks about him, you have to think that unless he shows something, and unless the Canucks show that they can actually be sneaky dangerous, right now they just look sneaky boring. Not even sneaky boring, man. They're just boring. They're
just boring. Man. And Trevor, come on, man. Where's the leadership? Where's the leadership from? I guess Pettersson is showing some leadership again. I'm Dr. Tendonitis. Don't worry, I got his back. I'm gonna have his back here until he gets his knee back. But he's playing through injury. He's playing through a lot. He wants to be a good team guy. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. But like, where's the leadership in Brock? Like, how come you're coming off the All-Star break or the Four Nations break, and you're looking like ass, and you're looking boring, and you're not looking desperate? Like, you should be desperate for the team because Quinn Hughes isn't in the lineup. You got an A on your chest. Let's go. Let's go. Do something. Help this team pick up some points. You know what I'm saying? And he's doing the bare minimum, and that's actually just not good enough. And I think we got our answer here. It doesn't mean that much.
Yeah. Yeah, and
like,
again,
how are you prepping during a break? How are you prepping during a break? I know everyone deserves a break, but like Quinn's hurt. You know Pettersson's dealing with something too. It's like maybe don't get off maybe not take a couple games to find your game again after the break. Like, how about you don't get that excuse because you've been around here for a long time and you're one of the leaders.
Yeah, and there's a leadership
in Brock, man.
Yeah, there's a leadership void now too that JT Miller's gone, right? And obviously maybe his leadership wasn't quite his leadership caliber towards the end of his days here in Vancouver, but that's somewhere where Brock Boeser should be stepping up. Hell, he's the guy that got the A on his jersey with JT Miller out of the lineup. So, and he's the longest tenured Canuck. There's a number of reasons why Brock Boeser should be stepping up. And again, it's the speed factor for Boeser and Pettersson. I mean, you're in a league now where it's gotten faster and faster every year, and Brock Boeser and Pettersson, they look slower compared to the competition. They look slower in terms of the data. Now, I do wonder what's going on break for these guys. Pettersson was at the Four Nations. Like, God, do you think these guys were just like, just getting laid left, right, and center, and now they just no juice left?
Dude, like, again, everyone's got to take their vacations and relax. Like, come on, man. It is what it is, but it's just life. But at the end of the day, when you're a UFA and you're a leader on this team and you've seen all the turmoil, and then you've also seen Quinn Hughes play through injury, Demko play through injury, Dakota Joshua do what he had to do. And now, again, Brock Boeser, Pettersson's going through his stuff, like with, whatever he has, the tendonitis, the confidentitis. So again, all the noise he's been dealing with, like, Brock, like, you have to be the guy that comes out of this break at the top of his game. Like, you're supposed to be he's just not that guy. Like, he's, again, just disappointed, man. Disappointed. Again, the effort. He looks slow out there because he looks like he's not in shape. Like, he has to get back into game shape. And again, that makes sense for a lot of players across the league because, again, they're only humans, and even pros are humans. But it would have been nice to see Brock more prepared to come out of the break looking less rusty, because, again, the team needs points. The team needs points. Yeah. And they wasted 2 spectacular goaltending performances, and they didn't get 1 point out of it. And they were 1-goal games, essentially, right, Trevor? So you need a game breaker, and they don't have any right now.
No game breakers in the lineup, and you wonder where they're going to come from, right? Hedl was kind of looking like that guy, and sure, he's carrying the puck in, but at the end of the day, Filip Hedl is not a superstar in the NHL. I need to take a break here, man. Let's do report cards on the other side, but I need a little levity here, man. So that's why I'm going to tell you about my nuts here on Locked On Canucks. You're going to love my nuts, but you know what you'll love even more than my nuts is the nuts from wonderful Pistachios. They become my favorite snack, man. This ad read's got me hooked because this is a snack that's delicious and nutritious, okay? And as Kyle said yesterday, there's nothing I love more than a pair of salty nuts in my mouth. All right, wonderful pistachios, they help accomplish that. And my favorite is the no-shell variety, baby. I don't want no teas, okay? Let me get straight to the point. Give me those naked shells, okay? It's the perfect grab-and-go snack for busy days, whether I'm snacking as I wake up, as I'm going to bed, or before my pregame nap. That snack is always there when I need it. It's my go-to, baby. And, if you like that tease, they do have Wonderful Pistachios has the in-shell options as well. So make sure whatever you're snacking on, make sure it's Wonderful Pistachios. Get snacking and get cracking with the snacks that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. All right. You're back here on Locked On Canucks. Your Canucks every day and every night. And again, the Canucks didn't get blown out, but it kind of felt that way when they ended the night with only 14 shots on goal. So let's get into the good
today, bro. They sucked again. Trevor, good way. You're professional, okay? Let's get positive here, and I know what you're about to do there. Let's talk about Shilovs, man. This team gets their ass kicked if it's not for Artur Shilovs. You brushed on it a bit, but I feel as if since you were turning against the country of Latvia, you should take it away here and not tell the people how shocked you were, but just glaze all over. That's what the kids are saying, right? Just glaze all over Artur Shilovs because he was incredible, and as I should say, vintage tonight.
Man, oh man, you might say that I have Artur Shilovs nuts in my mouth now. What? Let's get into it. Talk about Artur Shilovs and the rest of the Canucks here when we do report cards. All right, let's start with it. Artur Shilovs. Yeah, I'm giving him an A tonight, okay? Capitalize the A's in Latvia. There's two of them. And, Artur Shilovs, again, comes into this game with a 1-4-1 record and 847 save percentage, one of the worst save percentages among NHL goaltenders so far this season. And he came into tonight, and honestly, Kyle, I was feeling before this game that, maybe the Canucks should just be going back to Kevin Lankinen. He was so good in the last game. Ride the guy right now. Like, they are fighting for a playoff spot. This is the team they're battling, and they didn't make the decision to go with Artur Shilovs. And it was the right call. It's hard to fault him with anything tonight. I mean, the only two goals he lets in are tip-ins. He looked confident out there. He does look a little scrambly compared to Kevin Lankinen. Like, he isn't as crisp and as clean in his movements as Lankinen or Demko. But he made the saves tonight when it mattered, including a pretty clutch one there in the third to keep it a 1-1 game. So Artur Shilovs again, giving you a bit of confidence that maybe he can give the Canucks some life here with that Demko to the lineup.
Yeah, he was just impressive, exactly what we needed, and to keep it simple, bro, like we gotta hope he can continue to do this because we don't know how long Demko is going to be out for, and Shilovs is still getting one more start on this trip, so it's essential. It's must-win territory if Shilovs plays like this again for your Canucks.
Yeah, 100%. Now let's get to the next guy. It was his first game for the Vancouver Canucks. Victor, a.k.a. Vittorio Mancini, the pride of Italy. What? No, I think he's the pride of America somewhere. But yeah, Victor Mancini, I thought there's some ups and downs in his first game tonight. Some nice simple passes along the board. The guy can skate as well. That was evident on a couple of occasions. But he also looked like a guy who was an NHL tweener tonight, a guy who doesn't have a lot of NHL experience. I would give him a B- overall.
There you go.
I'll rip through the last couple here. Dakota Joshua, he the last couple games, Dakota Joshua's playing hard. I gave him a B+ last night. Tonight, I wouldn't say he was quite as effective. I'd give him a B. Jake DeBrusk thought I had a bit more pep in his step tonight than the last game, but still not a guy who's a big deal. Giving him a B as well.
Okay, Trevor, let me chime in here on Jake DeBrusk. Yeah. Like, again, another goal today, assisted by Pettersson. Again, I think he's the first player in NHL history to get an assist while dealing with tendonitis. So baby steps. But again, he can only take baby steps because you try walking with tendonitis, Trevor. Anyways, I wonder if DeBrusque turns into playoff DeBrusque a bit earlier, considering we need game breakers, and if he just levels up earlier, maybe he can be a bit of a driving force for real. Because again, he's a different player in the playoffs, but I think the Canucks need him to replace Brock Boeser ASAP, like right now.
Yeah, and we can't give him too much of a hard time because he is the last goal scorer for the Canucks. He's the only Canuck to score a goal since coming out of the Four Nations break here. But yeah, just not a play driving force. Filipino does drive play a little bit more, but overall, I think I'd give his effectiveness a beat tonight. And Talon Myers, man, oh man, I would say probably another tough game for Talon Myers. We're seeing in the comments right off the bat gets into penalty trouble. He was not good tonight. Coughed to the puck at the blue line. Like I'd be giving him an F tonight.
Yeah. He needs to play with Quinn Hughes. Like, this is what we're seeing it right now. Okay? We're seeing it right now.
Or in a sheltered third pairing role. Like,
no, but I'm just saying, or a sheltered third pairing role, but I'm like, I don't know about that too. I just, because he's one of those guys, when he's good, he's just good. Like we need him to just be safe, but when he's bad, he loses games for your team. He's been bad in the last two games, like really, really bad. Arguably the worst player on the ice for both teams. So, yeah, for both games, I'm sorry. So, just disappointed in him too because he's a leader too. Like Hughes is out, Pettersson's obviously not stepping up, and the other assistant captain is just not doing shit too. So,
yeah,
it's not good enough.
We talked about Latvia. Give them some love with Artur Shilovs, not giving them as much love with Teddy Bluger. Look, I thought that line struggled tonight. We'll get to some of the other guys on that line here up the list, but he's got on the penalty kill, so give him a C+. Kiefer Sherwood, again, one of the old Canucks who's been buzzing all season long. There's a reason why he is the third best Canuck this season, according to our Goats of the Week rankings behind Hughes and Lankinen. I'd give Sherwood a B+ tonight. Elias Pettersson. Always a talking point every night. I mean, missing on the breakaway tonight was over the net. It was just the icing on the cake for how things are going.
And they scored right
I was
after.
happy to see him pissed off on the bench. I was happy to see Elias Pettersson care. I want people on my team who hate to lose. If you ever watch Shoresy, that's what they say. You don't want guys who want to win. You want guys who hate to lose. I want to see Pettersson hate to lose. So I see him angry after the game. He had that one rush in the third that looked like vintage Pettersson, although he kind of skated to the boards and got checked. But fly through the middle of the ice there in the third period and going like, okay, there's Elias Pettersson we used to know. Again, didn't amount to anything tonight. And he could have been the hero, but didn't quite happen.
Oh, what's the opposite of a hero? A villain? Okay, he's not the villain, but he sort of is. I mean, it's ironic, Trevor. How did it feel for you to see him miss the net and for Dylan Guenther to score like 2 minutes later?
Yeah. Dylan Guenther is, it's Canucks luck, but Dylan Guenther is going to kill the Canucks for a long time to come. He's got goals in 4 straight games against the Vancouver Canucks as well. I'm giving Elias Pettersson a D tonight. Marcus Pettersson, I'm going to give him a C. A couple mistakes there. Derek Forbort, I was giving him flowers last night, stepping up in a top 4 role, but that penalty was so bad. I know he's been good on the penalty kill, but brutal penalty there. And, he's arguably the reason we lost the game tonight. So I'm giving him a C-.
What wasn't tonight a game where it's like, dude, Susie, just step your shit up and be consistent, So we don't you can just replace Derek Forbort at bare minimum. I'm not even talking about Victor Mancini, but what's his name? Valentino Marcini?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Valentino.
Valentino Martini.
Okay, Valentino Martini. Susie, step it up so we don't have to deal with question marks. Continue.
Yeah, I was talking about Derek Forbort, but
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying in general, Forbort is playing because Susie isn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
Yeah, I hear you. It's like I like how I was ripping Derek Forbort. You took it as an excuse to rip Susie. I mean, that's just kind of where the Canucks are at right now. It's a middling team with a lot of guys who are frustrating you. Pius Suter had his ice time cut at even strength. Thought it was a bit of a tough night for him, giving him a C. Nils Höglander, again, that whole fourth line tonight. I'll skip ahead to RC Baines too. I mean, Kyle, RC Baines was not a good night for him. Kind of surprising he got in. And look, again, you got a Canuck team right now that had 14 shots on net, and it only had 34 last night.
Everyone sucked.
But
everyone sucked.
Kyle, we talked about it before, but couldn't the Canucks use a guy like Jonathan Lekkerimäki, like a guy where his job is to shoot the puck? I don't know, man. I'm just starting to think that like maybe a guy like Jonathan Lecker-Mackey would just be better than a Nils Amon or an RC Baines or a Max Hassan right now. Like they're rotating through these guys, and I'm just thinking to myself, Lecker-Mackey's gone back down. He's continuing to score. He's continuing to look good. It's just not the time to get him back up. Have a guy who can shoot the puck and at least try something different there.
No, it's gonna happen soon though. Like it could happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? It could happen. No, literally, it could happen tomorrow, and you wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, 100%. But for now, I'm giving Nils Höglander a C, RST Baines a D. Drew O'Connor, he plays hard. I'll give him a C+. Phil Pronik taking on a big role right now. I thought he was probably one of the better Canucks out there tonight. I give Phil Pronik a B. Connor Garland, I think I saw in the comments from Gigatronic, man, he can skate and dance around the puck, but he can't shoot. That was kind of evident tonight. Connor Garland, I give him a B+. And Brock Boeser, we talked about him earlier on, him and Pettersson. It's not just Pettersson. Brock Boeser is also not going right now. Not looking dangerous, not looking good. I'd be giving Brock Boeser a C- tonight.
Well, there you go, man. That was another 5 minutes for report cards here on Locked On Canucks. Let's end the show with another theory of mine, okay? It's 4:20 somewhere, and Begsy, man, my mind's going to a million places, okay? Again, you're watching Locked On Canucks.
You're back here on Locked On Canucks, your Canucks every day and every night. And we'll get to a couple of your comments to end out the show here. But Kyle, it's crazy how fickle, being a sports fan can be. And again, we pumped Rick Tocchet's tires last night, and then the team comes out tonight and has 14 shots on goal. I mean, are you one of those guys that is blaming Tocchet for the structure and all that stuff? Or is this mainly on the players just to figure it out? Or is it on management? Like, which of the three, like, do you feel the most vitriol towards right now, if any?
I don't know. I'm more of a blame the player type of person right now because, like, Pettersson's like 20% of the player he should be, and Brock Boeser is just, he's invisible right now, right? So if those two are on their game in a crucial part of the season, like, isn't that an extra, like, 8 to 10 shots? And just, like, for their line mates and their shifts, like, I all in all, like, Trevor, again, here's my theory, okay? Again, this is why I'm blaming the players and not the coaches. So if you're looking for me to, like, draw some X's and O's and be more analytical about Rick Tocchet's, I don't know, his coaching habits, like, I can't do it right now because I can't blame him. But I look at a team like the Washington Capitals, right? Look how much swagger they're generating from Alexander Ovechkin just scoring goals. Just being one of the main characters, okay? It relaxes everyone, okay? It makes it more fun to be at the rink, or just makes it more fun to play games. Like, it's more explosive, it's more creative. Like, if Pettersson's back to normal, I feel like the carryover to the rest of his teammates is going to be there. Like, everyone's going to have an extra pep in their step. But when your leader, Mr. 11.6, like it or not, Elias Pettersson is a leader for this team. When he's playing the way he's playing, it creates a mundane environment. It's just the truth.
Yeah, I know. Rick Tocchet hockey right now. I agree with you. I think it is more on the players. Rick, again, this Canucks team has had success under Rick Tocchet, but they do, when the time gets tough, they tend to go into their defensive shell, and I think they defend well in their own zone. But man, oh man, it's been painful to watch offensively for quite some time now. But I agree. I think it's more on the players. I mean, you've seen guys like Boeser click with Miller and Pettersson going, and it just all working at the same time and it being fluid. And now you got no Hughes, Miller's not here, Boeser's not going, and Pettersson's not going. It's just a very different Canucks team right now when the star power at the top is non-existent. You know what is existent, Kyle, is the people, man. And let's get to a couple questions here. Locked On Canucks, some comments and questions from the people. Man, oh man, I like this comment from Sir Wojenheim III. First off, he's saying we were too harsh to the D on PD. He's saying C- because he did have a point. He did set up the one goal tonight. Give him some credit there, which we did not do. But I like this comment from him here. Make Hughes the GM for a week, and he decides who stays and who stays, goes, and signs. Man, oh man, what would be Quinn Hughes' boldest move as GM? Trading Pettersson and 4 firsts for Jack Hughes and Luke Hughes.
I don't know. I think a bold move, that would be the boldest move. If Hughes gives management the thumbs up to trade Pettersson. I know that sounds like a strong statement, but because, Pettersson's struggling and like Hughes is not a GM, but at the end of the day, you kind of have to treat Quinn Hughes like he's LeBron James and just fill him in because he's so good at hockey. Like he's one of those guys. He's one of the elite guys. And I feel like the bold move with him giving, just having some input or already going up to management and just being like, yo, get Pettersson out of here. Honestly, dude, it sounds harsh, but there's probably like a 1% chance that may happen. All in all, like, is it a Brock trade? Man, what's going on this season? Like, Trevor, like, aren't you just so disappointed again in the leadership group? Like, come on. Like, even if you're not scoring goals, like, where's the effort? Where's the bite? Brock Boeser, Tyler Myers, man. Take those A's off your jersey, man. Pettersson, what are we doing here? Quinn Hughes risking his body, playing with an oblique injury, playing with a hand injury. Like, come on, guys. We're not playing with an oblique injury. Sorry, I know you missed all this time with it, but like someone step up and get us a point during just disappointed again in the leadership group.
What leadership group are you talking about, man? You mean Tyler Myers and Marcus Pettersson aren't leading this team to battle here? Come on, man.
No, but this is a good point. Like, is Quinn Hughes the only one who cares? It feels like that from the top, like as far as being addicted to the results on the ice. Dude, it's telling. I'm sorry. It's telling that Brock Boeser came back from his little vacation like this, considering the team needs points.
Yeah.
Like,
and considering that Miller's gone, right? Like Brock Boeser's got to be one of the guys. And,
dude, it's very disappointing.
We talked about this for years now, right? Like it felt like the Canucks had 3 play drivers, and we talked about this a lot last season. It was Pettersson, it was Miller, and then it was Garland. Those are the 3 guys that can drive a line by themselves. We never, ever mentioned Brock Boeser in that same vein as even a Connor Garland, right? Mm-hmm. Because, he's a smart player. He can make plays. He can obviously shoot, get to the scoring areas, but he doesn't drive play on a line. He's not an amazing player with the puck on a stick, and he's not incredibly fast either. So he is a guy with flaws, and that's why I'm starting to think more and more about this comment from Mike Laval. And I know a team like the Canucks with Quinn Hughes, they should be competing for a Stanley Cup. You don't necessarily want to do an all futures trade, but Mike Laval makes a good point in the comments saying Boeser is probably a first and a prospect this trade deadline. It's a no-brainer to trade him. Kyle, do you feel that way? Like if they get a first and a B prospect for Brock Boeser, are you pulling the trigger?
You pull the trigger, man. It is what it is. Pull the trigger, and if like you really care about having meaningful players in your lineup ASAP, like they've done it in the past, like flip those assets and get somebody new in the door. Like it's going to be different. It's going to feel different. You know what I'm saying? Considering that Miller's gone and Boeser's going to be gone, and like you're going to see less Demko, like again, like immaturities of this team they leak out too much. They've leaked out too much this season, especially when it comes to preparation. And to see only Quinn Hughes being the guy that's like this locked in and this addicted to like his game and game out results it's telling, man. It's telling. So I'm curious to see like who else steps up in the leadership department. And it matters, man. It matters. Like who's got the air on their chest, who's getting paid the most, who's been there the longest, and like how hard are they working? And if Brock's working like that out of the break, like again, what type of tone does it set for the rest of the team?
Not a very good one, but let's get a couple more positive comments here before we finish off the show, man. And some of the listeners, they know what's up, buddy. Derek Whelan in the comments. Disappointing weekend, but it's 420, right? Let's go Petey saying, keep the Petey faith. There's no argument for defending Pettersson anymore. Let's just keep the faith, goddammit, because it's 420 somewhere. And let's get to the last comment here from Dave and Martin. Canucks are right where they want to be. Petey is starting to play better. Hughes coming back. They will peak at the right time for the playoffs.
Yeah, buddy.
That's the positive juice right there. And, I did feel like that way on a couple shifts tonight where Pettersson again had those flashes where you thought, oh, maybe he's coming back because, we just want to believe that moment's coming. And, obviously, when you look at the totality tonight, it was an extremely disappointing effort. And, again, the lack of star power and shots is a big reason why. But, man on man, again, the Canucks do have one of the best players in the world on their team. And it looks like right now, based on Sheila's played tonight, they got 3 good goalies.
Holy.
There is the juice for this team to potentially be better than the Utah Hockey Club, okay? And maybe we get some playoff hockey in April. But, again, that's me trying to be 420 optimistic. And the fact of the matter is we thought they were cup contenders, and here we are talking about being better than Utah and Calgary, which I'm not even sure if we are.
Yo, Pettersson's got to put some peanut butter all over his knee. That's what somebody told me as far as like making your knee less sore for tendonitis. You got to leave the peanut butter on also for like 3 days. So I don't know. Like that's what somebody told me. I don't know if that's going to work or not. But
Pettersson should only shower when he scores a goal.
Huh?
Yeah, Pettersson should only shower when he scores a goal. Like the reverse, like, oh, I had a lucky night. I can't shower. I got to wear
because everyone loves a shower. I get it. So it's like, oh, I can't take a shower until I play well. I like that, man, because sometimes we all need something to go after.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Again, maybe this guy's cashed out. Checked out. That was another episode of Locked On Canucks. My name's Kyle Bound, KYLEBHAWAN. I'm sorry for not having a microphone today. We'll have a microphone tomorrow. The Canucks lose to the Utah Jazz. And it's anyways, hit the like button, subscribe. Trevor, sign us out.
Shout out to you and you and you and you and you for tuning in to this episode of Locked On Canucks. If you like what we're doing, go subscribe and like this on YouTube. On the podcast side, oh baby, help me feed my family. Go follow us, leave a 5-star review. Follow us, like this video, change a life. And we'll try to change your life as well. What? This is a goddamn hockey podcast. Shut up, Trevor. Okay, fine. Sounds good. Time to get out of here. I'm Trevor Beggs. That guy's Cal Bound. And you've been listening to Locked On Canucks. Suck it, Utah.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.